I think the manuscript is not appreciated enough as the closer of the tortured poets department and its connection to Red, specifically to All Too Well. So today, I'm going to tell you the story behind the manuscript and why you need to stop skipping it. This is Taylor revisiting all the stories she's shared with us in the past and giving them an ending once and for all. There's a theory that suggests the manuscript could be about Taylor's relationship with Jake Gyllenhaal in 2010. But why would Taylor dedicate a song to Jake after so many years? Well, in the tortured poets department, Taylor seems to be saying goodbye to many things, closing all the chapters from the past that will no longer be part of her future. And since she's re-recording her albums, it seems that Taylor was able to revisit not just those songs, but the experiences she had in her 20s and how they shaped many aspects of her adult life, for better or worse. In the manuscript, Taylor mentions a torrid affair. Now and then she rereads the manuscript. This can be interpreted as Taylor revisiting the stories she once wrote when she was young, especially through the re-recordings and concerts.
They compared their licenses, he said.
Comparing licenses could be a reference to her being too young for him, and he's checking if it's appropriate. Also, taking car rides together is a major theme of All Too Well.
In the age of him, she wished she was 30. Coffee every morning in a French press.
Taylor seems to criticize the 9-year age gap between her and Jake. This theme of age difference is also explored in the 10-minute version of All Too Well.
We had been closer in age, maybe it would have been fine.
Another song presumably about Jake, I Bet You Think About Me. And, well, basically the entire Red album, where she mocks an ex who treated her condescendingly for not being culturally refined. Now you're out in the world, searching for your soul.
Scared not to be hip, scared to get old. Then she dated boys who were her own age.
Taylor sings about how she stopped trying to seem more mature than her age to impress someone and instead dated people her own age after her relationship with her older boyfriend ended.
How he said since she was so wise beyond her years, everything.
It's typical of men who date younger girls to tell them that they are different, because they are much more mature and wise, and blah blah blah. Something that might have stayed with Taylor and influenced her decisions based on that thought, or shaped certain things in her life or future relationships. Of course, this is just a theory. I'm not claiming this part as a fact.
We're hitting their marks in the slow.
This seems to be a reference to the scene in All Too Well where the actors are dancing in the kitchen under the refrigerator light.
At last, she knew what the agony had been for.
All too painful. Here, she seems to indicate that reliving the song through the re-recordings and the short film helped her find closure to that story, and perhaps the love her fans have for this song is what ended that agony. During the Toronto International Film Festival in September 2022, Taylor shared that it was initially really hard for her to perform the song live. Let's remember that she took a long time to play it again after the Red tour.
Sure days and nights when you made me your own. Now you mail back my things and I walk home alone.
For the 1989 tour, it was just a surprise song. And now it's part of the set list for the Eras tour. As an All Too Well stan, this has made me very happy. She explained, I needed 10 years of some perspective to know what I would even make to tell a version of that story visually. And I'm so grateful that I was able to do that with some crazy stroke of all these different twists of fate. I can't believe it.
I reread the manuscript. Story isn't mine anymore.
Taylor indicates that the story became bigger or beyond what it was. It started as a song that was my favorite, she continued. It was about something very personal to me. It was hard to perform it live. Now, for me, honestly, this song is 100% about us, and for you. Additionally, in the All Too Well short film, We see how the story she lived in that relationship inspired Taylor's character to write a book at the end, recounting everything she experienced without pain and giving that story to the public. This would be the manuscript.
Story isn't mine anymore.
Personally, I think the manuscript closes the Red story and all the stories from the Tortured Poets department. I feel that after this, we probably won't have any more songs about those experiences, only new experiences or vague memories from the past, but no more direct songs to people who are no longer part of Taylor's life. The manuscript seems to me the best song to close an album and an entire era. If you want to know the story behind other Taylor songs, I invite you to watch the next video. Bye.